Guys, y'all want to come on over here and just get closer? All right, well, I'm going to speak without a microphone, so let me know if, and also I can't see real well, so let me know if I need to speak up. But welcome to everybody who took the time out of their day and came, because I know you care if you're here. So I will introduce myself. I'm Julie Dyson Norris, and I am the current chairperson of PARDS, Parks and Recreation District 3. PARDS and the Recreation District was established in 1973 by the police juror to provide outdoor recreation in Livingston Parish. I was appointed by Parish Councilman Marshall Harris and agreed to continue to serve under Councilman John Wascom because I know the value of our park system. Our quality of life is better because of PARDS, and it is well documented that parks provide positive benefits for the communities that they serve. Home values increase, people are healthier, exercising and playing sports, communities are safer, recreational sports teams build our leaders of tomorrow. And here in Livingston Parish, it all starts at PARDS. Children can begin organized sports at age 3. In organized sports programs, children learn to work together toward a common goal, and it's where we learn to win and lose. When parents are coaching their child's team or cheering them on from the stands with grandparents, aunts, and uncles, it's where we build bonds that last a lifetime and memories that will bring a smile, remembering the fun times we've had together at the park. We're here today to discuss the needs and the future of parks. We need your input and we need your participation. We need your support for the tax renewal in October. Our last renewal was in 2015, and the past 10 years we've had a lot going on. An explosion of growth, the 2016 catastrophic flood, and then COVID, and PARDS has been with you through all of that. We don't know what the next 10 years will bring, but as good stewards of your tax dollars, we want to be here to provide the services that you expect through it all. And we need your help to do that. We would like to know what you would like to see at PARDS. How would you like PARDS to grow and meet the needs of our growing community? Because PARDS is where it all begins. So let's talk about where we go from here. But first, I'd like to introduce you to your PARDS board. Sharon Elliott is with us tonight. She serves on the PARDS board. Karen Strickland serves on the PARDS board. Andrea Bell, Ronnie Juneau, Ray Riley Jr., or the third, and Tom Ferris and myself. And then I would like to introduce you to our superintendent. This is Gary Templeton. He's the boots on the ground. And then his staff. And if each of you all could stand when I announce your name. And also if you could tell everybody how many employees or how many people are that you oversee, or that you, and just guess, you may not know the exact number, but just to let people know how many employees we have and how many people have jobs here at PARDS. So John Harbour is our superintendent. Here he is over here. Assistant superintendent, excuse me. Gary's the superintendent. John is the assistant superintendent. John Bayo is our programs director. And if I say what you do is correct, I just wrote it down off the top of my head. Courtney Stevens is our aquatics director.
Okay, and I have 15 employees year-round and about 60 during the summer for the water park.
And Paige Fredericks is our fitness director.
Hi everybody. I have about 15 that work with me year-round, and then it just varies between in the summertime.
Stephanie Morris is the director at the Pines Golf Course.
Hi, I currently have 7 employees and have 7 employees year-round.
Jamie Longmire is the North Park foreman.
Yep. I have 7 guys that take care of we got 111 acres. All here.
Rod Volgamore is the park foreman at South Park.
and we have 2 people.
Tina Fletcher is our office manager.
I have one that's under me, but I do all the human resource for the park.
Monica Trustplayer is our before and after school program and summer camp.
I have 18 year-round and about 45 to 50 during summer camp.
And let's see, Donald Kinchin is the Ellen Lockhart supervisor.
Donald, 2 employees.
And then Fran, I don't know your last name, is our finance
Mavridis.
director, I think. What is it?
Mavridis.
Mavridis. Mavridis.
I'm Fran, I work in accounting and I report to Gary.
So these are your parks, and these are the people that keep them running, and we are here for you. So we really want to know. I want to turn it over to Gary, and he has a little bit to say, but we're here for you because these are your parks. So, and I also would hope that you would pick up maybe some of these documents. This tells you a little bit about how many people we serve. I didn't ask you all to expand on that, how many children play ball and different things like that. And Gary will expand on some of that, I'm sure, but I look forward to hearing your input. Gary?
Thank you, Julie. So Julie took my whole speech basically, so I appreciate everything she said there, and everything she said is accurate. We are a growing park system. We have grown. I've been here for 17 years now, and this population has changed a lot. The needs of the community has changed a lot. We try to adapt and change by those needs. We've tried a lot of things that have worked really well. We tried some things that didn't work, and we're always ever changing. We've added a lot of new sports programs. John's done a lot of good work here on expanding our sports programs. The number of kids we serve, 3,456, I think is what it is, every year for all our sports. Those kids need this park system. Oh, thank you. 3,421, that was close. These kids need this park program. Without recreational sports, the progression up the line doesn't exist. We're a feeder program for these competitive ball teams, for high schools, for colleges. Everybody starts here. So without the fundamentals we supply these kids and the availability for friendships and family friendships, this is what we're here for. This is what this staff works every day to supply for the needs of this community. Again, we are growing. We're showing our age by our growth. We are 51 years old. This park has been here for a long time. So we do our best to maintain. We do have some funding issues. People assume we just are loaded with money and all these programs. It's very expensive to run these programs. Field paint's outrageous these days. Maintenance costs are just daily maintenance costs are expensive. So for what we do with the funding we have, I think we offer a great product. Are we trying to improve on that? Yes, every single day. My staff works very hard to give the best product we have out there. As we said, we have 3,400 kids that play sports out here. We have 1,950 kids in our summer camp and before and after care program. We have 923 members at our fitness and aquatic center. We had 14,460 rounds of golf last year, and we had 27,000 people enter our water park. These people that need this community and depend upon us to offer a product. We do have a lot of information on the table. We have this document kind of explains everything I just talked about there. We have a copy of our master plan up there. This is a master plan we started 15 years ago, Julie?
I think it was a little more than that when we did the survey of the people to find out what they wanted. And that's in that
So we have a copy of this up there. If anybody like a copy of it. It explains all the projects we did. About 90% of this has been completed. There's some things in here that's been altered a little bit. As times change, we've changed. It went from tennis courts to pickleball courts. It went from a splash pad at North Park to a water park at North Park. So we've changed some things through the years to adapt. I think we do with the board and the staff we have a lot of input, so we hear feedback from the community, so we adapt, we change. Also, we have a copy of our budget up there. Looks like this, it's a lot of line items. That's available for anybody to look at. I would sit there and go through each line item with you, but we'd be here all day long. But I want you to take it home and look at it. If you have any questions about it, our phone number, 225-665-5405. Call me anytime. I'd be glad to talk over any questions you may have about this. We have our 5-year plan up there. This is things we have. It explains a little bit about our budget on there. It has the number of employees we have. It breaks down the things we've done since our last millage renewal 10 years ago. Since then, we've added the Pines and North Park. I know some people are not understanding why we purchased, but it's been very great for our community. I think we've revamped a course that was in its last days, and it's became a beautiful course out there. It's affordable golf for the community. We've added pickleball courts and disc golf at the South Park that are used every day. Rod was kind of surprised. I think when we built that out there, that people would be playing disc golf every day, and they're beating down the doors every day to get into the park to play disc golf. Pickleball courts are probably 30, 40 people every morning when you get out there. We've added different things. We've added the PARDS Soccer Club, which has become a very feared program we have. It used to be certain programs or things to look at, people were kind of feared. We go to a sports facility with our program now, thanks to John and his staff over there. We've become a premier soccer club. We've added NFL flag football out here. We always had flag football for the last several years. We affiliated with the NFL. We've added Tiny Tots baseball, which is 3-year-olds. If you ever get bored on a weekday, come watch 3-year-olds play baseball. It's very entertaining. We've established with Little League. We used to be a Babe Ruth many years ago. We've changed over to Little League. We started that 2 years ago, John. It's starting to grow and bring people back. We did a lot of other improvements, to the park. We revamped the baseball fields to better condition they are. We did a lot of field work out there. Jamie and the staff have done to make those fields more playable. Yes, we don't have turf. Turf is very expensive, but turf also limits accessibility to the public. We try to keep our fields open to the public at all times. If you want to come out there to use our facility for a kickball game or a baseball game, or just throw the ball with your child, they're open to the public. So again, with being open to the public, things get damaged and used a little bit more than normal. So they do show their age, but we like to keep it open to the community. We do have on this master plan, or on this 5-year plan, the things we have upcoming and planned. Some growth we like to have. Now, it comes from funding. It requires that millage to get these projects done. I did a brief breakdown of what programs cost not long ago. It's amazing what those programs cost per child to play out here. And a lot of times your $85 or added district fee does not cover that fee. But that's what the benefit of having the millage does. It pays for the maintenance, operation and maintenance out here. We know we have a track that's in dire need of repair. I've been getting estimates and quotes on that. That's something the board is looking at now. The tennis courts are aging out. It's been many years since they've been resurfaced. Plus we need pickleball courts out here. These are things we just got quotes on to look at to improve our facility. We're ever changing. Guys, we need y'all support. And it's not just us that need y'all support, the community needs y'all support. Without park systems, the quality of life for the children out here and the adults that use facilities diminishes. So I appreciate y'all support. I'm gonna kind of open up to Sharon if you would like to speak a little bit. If not, you don't have to. I'll let her speak a little bit on the millage. I know we have our millage coming up in October the 11th. I know millage is things people don't like to talk about. That's why I'm letting Sharon talk about it. But it's very important. Our budget is very open for anybody to look at any time. I wish we had millions of dollars in the bank that people think sometimes we have, but we don't. We depend upon that millage and the programs that are coming in. I think 49, I think I got it wrote down here somewhere on this page. 41% of our revenue comes in from participation in sports, rentals, and then 59% of it comes from the millage. Without that millage, the cost for doing these programs would double, even triple. Some facilities may shut down or have to diminish some of these programs we have out here. We may not have 2 soccer seasons, maybe we only have 1. Maybe we eliminate some of the sports that are just to keep the park open and going. So if you don't mind, Sharon, I'm going to introduce y'all to Sharon Elliott. She's been a board member with us for many years now.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind speaking a little bit on the millage, I appreciate it.
All right,
Thank
thank
y'all.
you, Barry, thank you. Okay, on the millage, what I would like to tell people, because the question we get the most frequently is why do we need 15 mills? And those of you who know us know that we roll back our millage every year. In fact, this past year, we took 10.92, I believe. 10.72. So we always are good stewards for the community and roll the millage back. So why do we need 15 mills? Well, it's real simple. It's a 10-year renewal. And based on what's happened the last 10 years, we had the flood in 2016, in which all homes were reassessed that flooded, which was the majority of our parish, and so we lost quite a bit of money. Then we had COVID, and we were not allowed to have day camp, our after-school camps, or any sports for a long time. So we lost a lot of revenue. And because of that, our savings are not where we would like to see them, certainly not where the parish council would like to see them, what we need to have. So what we plan to do is take the 15 mills, or ask for the 15 mills on the renewal, not take it, and not take the 15 mills unless we encounter some sort of a catastrophe over the next 10 years where homes are reassessed down, or something happens that we are in a predicament and we have to take the 15 mills in order to keep the parks open for the public. So we are always thinking about the public. It's not about getting excessive amounts of money that we just want to sit on. We spend every dime that we have on making the parks better for the community. Are we perfect? No. We have a lot of things that we can improve on, and that's why we want you here. We want you to tell us what you would like to see. What concerns do you have? What questions do you have for us? Because if you don't have one right now, think about it and call us with questions. We also have more town halls coming up. We have one on June the 10th. It'll be at 7 p.m. And watch for more, because we're trying to stagger them at different times of day so that we can attract different audiences of our voters. So does anyone have any questions for us? Oh, come on, you gotta have a question, a comment, anything?
So in today's day and age, social media is huge. I mean, when you get home, when you have a minute at work, y'all probably don't do that here, but when you have a little minute at work, what do? You pull out your phone, you look at Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. There's a number of different sites. And I know that y'all have a Facebook. I'm not sure about any of the other sites, but I'd like to see more of a presence. So showing improvements, new programs. Obviously, they just had the disc golf thing. I'm not aware if y'all made a post or not, but it's constant. Like, not just, I made a post today, I made a post last week. Almost daily, because it's in the algorithm. People see it. They're doing improvements. They fixed the swing. They got the disc golf at South Park, and just blowing up social media with North Park, South Park, West Livingston, all of them. Just say PARDS on the board. Before and after school, my kid goes to before and after school, or not before and after school, but summer camp. And daily, I see pictures of kids doing activities every single week. So that's what I like to see more of.
Well, thank you so much for those comments, and you are right on track. In fact, we just hired someone who is going to be in charge of our social media. Yes, and she's listening. So we have been limited by staff, and so now we have someone that we can put in charge of that. And There are other things in the works too, so I really appreciate that comment.
I'd like to say also, thank you so much for that, but one of the issues that we have had is that we have a lot of individual Facebook pages. So, you might see Fitness and Aquatics, or you might see the after school, or whatever, and I don't know a whole lot about how Facebook works, but we're trying to figure a way where it's all under one umbrella. So not only will you see the ones that you follow, but you'll see all the other things too. So I know they have been maintaining some of their individual ones, but we know that there's an issue there with being able to see all of the information.
I actually have another thing too.
Yeah.
As far as the millage goes, the mills, I think, I mean, I myself am not perfect and don't understand it wholeheartedly, but I think it needs to be, for lack of a better word, dumbed down for the public, because people just see and go, oh, heck, all right, I'm out. Especially this day and age, so.
I agree
some
with
sort of
you.
literature, somebody where, I mean, obviously, this is what you're doing here.
Right, right.
But just something where people will understand it a little bit better.
I agree with you, and thank you for that comment too, because we're also working on that, because we have heard that from several people. And 15 mils sounds like a lot. It really is, it averages, I think, $125 per family across our voting district. And, you know, for the services that we're able to provide, like Gary was talking about the sports programs, I believe baseball alone, we charge $85 and it costs us $134. Costs us $134 per child. So the balance of that is paid for by the millage. So we're looking at that right now and trying to come up with a graphic that is going to work and make it very, very easy to understand.
And I agree with you, Josh. A lot of people they see 15 mils and think it's 15 million. I wish it was. I think everybody in here wishes it was. But yeah, there's some things we're working on to kind of add some of that less confusing terms to it and make it more easy for people to understand.
Right. And I will say this about the disc golf. If you haven't watched disc golf players, go out to South Park. They are so dedicated. It doesn't matter if it's raining, snowing, it doesn't matter what. They are out there playing disc golf, totally dedicated to the sport and ready to educate anybody who wants to listen. Okay, any other questions? Yes,
Yes, sir.
Jordan?
I was just wondering, y'all have big concerts and stuff here too, right?
We do. We have some rental events, yes, sir.
Does the millage at all help any of that cost, even as at minimum as maintaining that area so that those concerts can still happen, or is that?
No, I'll let you speak up. That's fine.
I didn't hear that. I'm sorry. Could you say it again? I missed it.
Yeah, I was just wondering about like the concerts and events that get on here.
Right.
That the millage has any.
Yeah, the millage has nothing to do with the concerts. Those are private rentals. They pay a rental fee and then they sell tickets. They keep all of their ticket revenue. They just pay us the rental fee.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's something, yeah, the rental fee is enough to cover the expense of anything happening. Plus, they put a security deposit down also that covers that.
They have an insurance certificate.
They have an insurance
as well.
certificate. All this, anybody that comes in to do a big event or any event really requires them to have insurance. That covers that, anything that may happen out there. We've looked at our rental rates. We've tried to compare them to what everybody else charges in the area. So they are ever changing. But yes, it does cover the cost for any. And really, that concert, most of the concerts and the fair and things we have out here, most of it, we've looked at those numbers to make sure everything would be covered. And luckily, we have no damage. We haven't had any major damage report on. Grass gets torn up a little bit, but other than that, it's just minor damage. Yes, sir.
So I also use some of y'all's facilities. So my daughter and I go to y'all's water park. We love it. She loves it there. So if the millages weren't, we're doing all that, would that potentially cost more or potentially go away altogether, like maintaining and all that?
Definitely. I mean, not just the water park, it could be everything. I mean, when you have, our millage is roughly $3.1 million is what we collect on millage. So we bring in 2.4, 2.3, something like that for program stuff. So we have to offset that somehow or another to make it work out.
We offer in
we would have to
district
make
and
some
out
hard
of district.
decisions.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to make us pay more. It probably costs more on the front end to pay when we use it rather than taking on the millage.
Right.
Did you,
And we do have in
Wait,
district
say
and
that
out of
again. Wait a
district
minute, I'm
rates.
not sure I understood that statement.
like it may cost us more to pay up front, like at the gate when
Sure.
we use these programs, rather than if it's in the middle, it's spread across easier. And I was going to ask you, you said, is it $139 a year? Was that the average pretty much?
About 134 for baseball.
Oh.
For each participant to play baseball.
Is this document open?
I don't think that one's over there, but it has, and that doesn't include the maintenance costs. It doesn't include what Jamie's maintenance staff does. That's just the insurance, uniforms, field equipment, goals, shin guards, whatever sport may be. It doesn't include what the maintenance is, dirt work, their labor out there on the fields. Field paint sometimes is not always in there, which field paint unfortunately got expensive these days. So it doesn't cover any of that. That's just what your program cost pays for.
Yeah. Okay. So and then we fill the gap by paying.
The millage kind of fills in the gap.
Another thing, it's interesting that you're asking so much about the millage too, because that's why we're here. And maybe 10 years ago or more, I don't remember, the board made a decision to look at, because all of our prices were the same whether you were in district or out of district, and we realized that the people in district are funding up front with the millage. Also, we have no sales tax revenue. Everybody needs to know that. We don't have the benefit of any sales tax. We are exclusively millage. But so we decided to look at what would be fair. And so actually in looking at it, we would have really needed to increase the fees for out-of-district people probably by 100% more than the in-district people. But
As an out-of-district person.
but here's the thing, we didn't do that. We knew that that was too much to do. And also, there's variables with if you have more than one child or whatever. But in district, if you're already paying the millage anyway, whether you use a park or you don't, but you're paying the millage, then you get the benefit of having a reduced, so it's like 50% less than out of district. But the out of district rate is what everything should be. We're just giving a benefit to the people who are already paying out. So it's not easy sometimes for people to understand that, but it's trying to make it fair for everybody.
Yeah. Well, and then too, you'll bring a benefit, economically wise in the area, like you said that I think it's over 3,000. I'm not sure how many children use all y'all's programs.
That's right.
2,000. I mean, when they're busy here having fun, they're not on the streets.
That's right. That's right.
And I
Safety,
think that's
security.
A key thing. I'm sure there's a ton of studies that lead to prove that these rec programs and all this stuff are fantastic for our community. So you want to pay more for police or
That's
pay
right.
more for
Also, PARDS is 11% of your tax, the people that are in the district. We're 11% of what people pay. Overall, PARDS is 11%.
Appreciate it.
Any other questions?
Oh, that's a good thing
Well-
about what we hope to do with the soccer field. We have lights coming in for the soccer fields. Maybe, I don't know if you want John to tell us a little bit about that. But concession stands, bathrooms, all that kind of stuff out there, we need to be able to do some tournaments.
The problem right now with tournaments, we used to have tournaments, with the growth of our sports, our fields are utilized by our teams pretty much all the time. So we want to make sure that the people that live in the district and are paying taxes and using our park have availability to the park. We are looking into hosting tournaments again. I know John's looking at doing some soccer tournaments coming up, baseball tournaments. A lot of people want turf fields just because of the rainout situation. It's depending which way you look at it, it's a plus or minus. But we have hosted, we do host a few from time to time. We're not as big as these other programs that have one every weekend. But when you have it every weekend, it takes out the community being able to use your park. So it's kind of a trade-off either way.
Also, how much is a turf field?
I think last thing we looked into, it was almost $2 million to do the fields we have right here.
Like one field, 10,
No, it
100,000?
was about $150,000-$200,000 per field.
Okay, so, and then what is the life expectancy on that?
10
field?
years.
I was shocked when I found out that they only last 10 years. So I think Live Oak's already having to replace, or somebody's having to replace fields
We
already.
don't have the best heat conditions in
Well,
Louisiana.
somebody. Yeah.
So yeah, every 10 years you have to tear them all down and rebuild
And so
them.
then
but-
you've got to have that money to redo that.
Exactly.
Then you get that's
Yeah,
just
that's-
one of the city legends. I
Yeah.
used to know those baseball cards over there when I was in high school. So
Yeah.
Yes, but you
Right.
shut down the public, and they have to do it to maintain those fields.
Well, and again, it sounds good, and we do get rainouts here. We did talk this week about maybe thinking about some covers, you know, and seeing what we could do. But we hear what people are saying, and you know, we want to talk it out and see what's best for the people.
Anyone else? Don't be shy.
We know you're here because
Yeah,
you
you got
pay
plenty of
it,
questions.
but you might be concerned too.
We got another board member here stuck in on the side here, just here coming in. Is Andrea Bell here? Yes, sir. Sure.
I've never felt unsafe at any.
Thank you. Glad to hear that.
One time, and I think that's an important thing.
I appreciate hearing that. Our maintenance staff and our guys are always out there looking. We are fixing to install some camera systems to kind of make it even more safe and secure. We have some at Ellen Lockhart now. We're having some installed pretty quickly at South Park and fixing to continue over to North Park. So just to kind of give you a little bit more safer feeling when you're out here, there are some security cameras and license plate readers and stuff coming in.
You know, sometimes you can leave a facility and feel, I really don't
Yeah.
want to be. I've never felt that at North Park.
Glad to hear that.
PARDS
Thank you.
facility.
Well, we're talking about North Park, South Park, and the golf course.
And you got 4 parks in our system. We have Ellen Lockhart, which is right there behind Tractor Supply area off Martin Luther King.
Oh, that big gym.
Yeah, that big gym at the old West Livingston School.
Does it have anything but the gym?
It has a gym, it has basketball courts outside, has a splash pad there, has a community center, has a walking trail.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then North Park, South Park, and the golf course.
correct. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I come to the park and I don't use all the facilities that y'all are expanding to, and I didn't realize I was paying 11% of my taxes that came here. I would request that y'all keep up that walking trail.
Okay.
There was a sign at one point that said no dogs, and there are dogs out there, and if you say something to them, they're very ugly. I've actually called staff before here and said there was a dog out on the park and actually waited to see if anybody came, and they never came.
Okay.
And they said they were. So I would just, I'm sure there's a lot of people that come out here to walk the trail.
Sure.
Y'all put it out there for that purpose. And I would like to know that when I go, I don't want to do a road because I don't want cars.
Sure.
But if I'm going to go out there and I'm going to get run over by a bike or dogs, some of them off leash actually.
Yes.
Not even on leash.
We've been
So-
battling that problem and issue for a while now. Recently, we had an ordinance passed. We had to go through parish council, had our rules and regulations for the park. We had an ordinance passed. It's now
Because there was
enforced.
a time where we could not enforce
Yeah.
our rules.
We were told we were kind of like a homeowners
But now
association.
But I mean, if you have staff that at least
Sure.
come out there and say something.
Yeah.
But we're
instead
telling
of
you now we
screaming me to
can't.
say
Yeah.
We now
Yeah.
have corrected that issue,
Yeah.
and we
So-
have to go
Can't
to the parish
enforce
council.
the rules.
It was before we could not even. We had to call the sheriff's deputies out here a couple of times to handle situations, and they basically told us we're like a homeowners association. You can have rules, but they're not enforceable. If the guy doesn't want to leave unless he's doing something wrong, we can't make him leave. You have rules, but they're not enforceable by the sheriff's department. We've met with the sheriff's department and the parish council. The board worked up some policy. We did have it presented to the parish council. Those rules now are posted as you walk in, entrance of all the parks. There's QR codes on a lot of the posts about you can scan the rules. We're now still working with the sheriff's department to make sure they enforce those. It is an ongoing struggle we deal with every day. There's a lot of times a stray dog in the park. We had to run out every day. So we are working on those. We're hoping to get those addressed. We're working for some support from the Sheriff's Department to help us out with that.
And I think the important thing too was that you did call, and that's what a lot of times people have concerns and they don't call the office. That is absolutely, and whether they were to come or or they called the sheriff, I'm not sure what happened in your situation. But please continue to call and make it clear, you know, what your needs or desires or situation is.
And with your social media person, will they be monitoring the comments that are put on the rants and raves?
That is something we're working on now.
Okay, so let me just say that the consensus on your rants and raves is that people can bring their dogs, it's okay. Don't listen to whatever they say because it's not enforceable, whatever. I mean, I've seen it all, so perhaps as you read through things, if they get the impression that there's a rule or not a rule, that y'all can somewhat say, no,
Correct
there
them.
is a rule.
Yeah.
Or, you know, we'll look into something instead of people just getting the impression on social media that it's just bring your dogs, all dogs are welcome.
I appreciate your feedback.
Yes,
And, yeah,
ma'am.
we can do a post. We can even do a post about, you know,
Yeah.
we have a dog. We've looked at even doing a dog park here to kind of eliminate some of that. That's something that's in one of our plans, in a 5-year plan, I think, or 10-year plan to get everything done. And potentially putting a dog park here to give people a place for their dogs. So.
And we do have a dog park at South Park.
Yeah. Any other questions? Well, I'm going to kind of end it like this. And my door's open 24 hours. Well, not 24 hours a day. My door's open from my phone is apparently 24 hours a day.
Or text you.
The park hours here is 8:30 to 5. Our doors are always open. If you ever have a problem, me, my staff would be glad to help out. Give us a call. If you want to come in and look at the budget, if you want to come have questions about things, come in and speak with us. Come in and talk to us. Social media is great, but you really can't get the answers you need sometimes from social media. You can by giving us a phone call. We can answer those questions. We may not have the right answer that you want at the time. Maybe it's an answer we're working on, or a solution we're working on. We'll do our best to try to resolve it the best we can. My staff works very hard every day to look over these things, and social media can be very hurtful. A lot of times, you know, my staff takes things personal. I tell them all the time, don't take it personal. It's just the business we're in.
Well, and Gary, also, I think, I didn't see, I do monitor, and they can tell you I monitor social media a little bit, but I didn't see anything about all that with the dogs. So please, again, if we need to engage all of us, we need your help. So if you see something like that and you can call us and say, look, I saw this, check it out. That's what I do with Gary or whatever. And so we need y'all's eyes too, and your ears, what you're hearing. Spread the word to, you know, we need to multiply this to get everybody, you know, correcting the errors or educating the people.
Well, I know running here, and it does upset me when I see stuff about this park on social media. I'm not going to say anything because I don't want my name for that very reason. But you guys do a great, and always have, and so I want, as an organization, that they come back and say something on that. Social media is killing y'all out there, I'm telling you.
Yes, yes.
And whether you see it or not, it's out there.
Right.
Yeah,
And I think all of you probably see it. So it's killing you, and it makes me very unhappy. So I would ask that fight back in some way. I realize there's limitations with the government entity and all that, but speak up and get the word out, because, you know, I can't really say anything.
Right.
So.
Well, we finally got into the 21st century and have somebody dedicated to social media.
Yeah.
She's not been here very long, so she's learning kind of the platforms and trying to figure out what she can and can't do, because there are some fine lines of what we would love to say a lot of things sometimes, but sometimes we soften the blow a little bit.
I'm going to say, I don't know, you know, but I'm going to say the millage election is October 11th.
October 11th.
We need people to turn out, people that appreciate, you know, understand the needs. We need the vote, and if you can get your friends and whatever to vote, we need it. And then you had a question.
I was concerned about the dogs because I couldn't hear.
Sure.
Okay. My understanding was that dogs were allowed wherever you go in the park, providing they're leashed and you clean up after. But that's not right.
That's not correct. We have a no dog policy, because I'm a dog owner. I understand how, everybody loves dogs and everybody wants to bring them with them everywhere they go. But at the park, you never know what's going to happen.
Well, there was something, did you see what happened in New York? I think it was New York,
we
where
had an issue.
2 dogs attacked a little dog they were on leashes, all of them. It was really bad. It was on the news.
We've had issues even on leashes if people have dogs and they find a reason to run off and or break free and it scares kids. Or I don't think we've had any major issues yet, but we're trying to deter that from happening.
But that is why we did partner
What's
with...
that?
With,
Yeah.
yeah, we did partner with
Yes.
Raising Cane's. Yeah, and so we have that part of the park. And I did want to mention too, the lights that are going up at the soccer field and some other things, 4 new air conditioning units at the Ellen Lockhart facility. Anyway, we, for the first time ever last year, had inquiries from our state senator, Valerie Hodges, and state representative, Roger Wilder, about what they could do to help us, and they both brought money to PARDS last year, and we were able to do the lights, like I said, and the air conditioners,
And the pickleball courts and the disc golf.
pickleball courts and,
Yes.
and disc golf at South Park. So we hope to continue that kind of a relationship, and certainly want to give them credit for supporting our parks or your parks.
Any staff wants to say something, you're more than welcome this time. If you want to brag about your programs or anybody?
I'll brag.
Oh, yeah, get up something about it. Tell me the offer over there.
My name is Paige Frederick, and I'm the
Come over here
fitness.
closer.
Oh, you want me to get closer? Okay. My name is Paige Frederick, and I'm the fitness director at the PARDS Fitness and Aquatic Center. And what I do is I do the fitness center, I do the group exercise classes, and then I do the basketball gym and pickleball. I know I have some people that I know. Lindsay, thanks for coming, and then Latanya, she's actually our new ballet instructor that we're bringing to PARDS next month. It's been a long time since we've had ballet, so I'm really excited about what we're going to be doing next month. But if you guys ever come to the gym, if you have any questions about any of the workout equipment, about our pickleball, basketball, please come see me. My door is always open for you guys. And I can give you my email address, not my personal cell phone. Just come and see me, and you can email me anytime or come to my office and whatever you got.
And your prices are the prices there are very affordable or in line, and you only have to you pay month to month. You don't sign a contract or anything like that.
Correct. Yeah. So we're strictly month to month. Everywhere that you go and work out, you're doing a bank draft, which I know a lot of people hate. You can pay up front, like with your card, which is like you don't see that at any other gym. Plus, we're not looking for you the next month. So yeah, that is a plus.
That holds us accountable. We have to be what you want us to be for you to continue to be members with
For
us.
sure, yeah. So anytime you guys have a comment or complaints, come and see me, and we'll handle it.
Thank you, Paige.
No problem.
I think Monica, to me, we serve, we pick children up parents drop children off here at what time, Monica?
6:30.
6:30, and then we have a school bus that we bought that we take children to school for parents that are working, and then we go back and pick them up after school and keep them here until their parents come. And then, of course, there's the summer program, but we do that during the school year. And how many children do you have in that?
During the school year, 120.
I came when they were registering outside around the building, people trying to get in, and we always book up. We don't ever have any
Summer camp.
openings.
Very busy.
Summer camp too?
That was the summer camp.
Oh, that was summer camp that I saw, yeah.
Anyone else? John, you always got something to say. You got something to say? Bring it up. Good time to talk about it.
Jonathan Bayo. I'm the PARDS Sports and Programs Director here. I've been at the park for probably 20 years now, since about 2005. This park is personal to me. It's personal to me because I've done it all. I've been a parent, been a coach, spectator, and now I'm an employee. I've worked as an employee here, like I said, from every level. Coach, maintenance, you know, I've gotten out there, I've done it all. Earlier, they asked me, you know, how many employees I have. If you want to be honest, I have about 4,000. 4,000 little tiny employees that run around on the fields every single weekend, every Tuesday, Thursday, Monday, and I have their coaches, dads, moms, just like all of us. We all played here, we all watched kids grow up here, so it's important to me. And it's important because my 3 kids came up through the program, and my last one is about to actually age out of the program. So it's kind of, you know, it takes me, you know, got to fight back the tears on that one. But a lot of people wonder why the renewal is so important. I'll tell you why the renewal is so important. The renewal is important because it keeps the lights on. It keeps our parks safe. You know, let's not talk about the numbers. It keeps it safe. It gives these kids a place to play. It keeps them out of trouble. It gives these working parents a place for their kids to go. You know, people don't understand that. They don't see the behind the scenes stuff. Like these kids, some of these kids have no other place to play. You come out here on any given day and you'll see about 60 to 80 kids out here just kicking the ball around on these fields or out there at the baseball fields throwing the ball around. These kids have no other place to play on the afternoons when they get off of school. Or they just don't want to be at home. They want to be here. And without the millage renewal, there might not be that field. They might not have this safe space. You know, maintenance might not have the funding to cut the grass, you know, and it takes away from the community. It takes away from everybody. The park and sports, they're building our future leaders through teamwork, you know, their mental capabilities, stress and anxiety. It brings all that down, it keeps them in shape, and it keeps them off the screens. You know, most of all, it keeps the social aspect, it brings families together on the sidelines. I can't tell you how many people I've met throughout the years being at this park. Friends, I moved up here from New Orleans, I didn't know a soul. I didn't have anybody to talk to, nobody. I met them all through the park. I have lifelong friendships that, like, these are people that I'll know for the rest of my life. I have kids that I coached 20 years ago that will see me at the store and they'll still call me Coach John. So, like, when you guys are wondering what this renewal is all about, that's what this renewal is about. Don't worry about the numbers. Stop worrying about, you know, it's a few dollars for the future of this community. You know, a lot of people go, oh, well, it's my few dollars. No. Think about those kids. Think about this park. And that's who needs it. And like, I'm the director of the park, but it's not just about a title. I come from behind the desk. I'm not just like any other sports director. I'm not behind the desk. I'll get out there. I'll go, you know, see what maintenance needs. I'll see what Gary needs. I'll see what the Fitness and Aquatic Center needs. It's about the community. It's about providing the best possible service we can and improving lives and improving the community. So, it's not a new thing. It's a renewal, and it's the same thing we've had for 50 years. It laid the foundation for this place, and it's what made this place so great, and it's what's going to continue making this place great for the next 50 years. And that's why we need your help, because, well, we don't need it. The kids need it. The future needs it. So.
But I'll tell you, the seniors need it too.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys are still a kid at heart. Look, hey.
No, we're not.
Well, honestly, when we did that master plan, and you know, 15, 20 years ago, whenever it was, you know, we were providing ball services and, you know, everything that PARDS did originally. But we wanted to diversify to meet the needs of a larger demographic,
Because we are growing.
and that is what
Right.
we are able to provide now in so many ways.
You're the reason we're living longer.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Look,
So,
the park is for everybody. It improves everyone's physical, mental well-being, including, look, kids from 0 to 99 or 102 or however the song goes.
Sport.
Yeah.
Tennis is a lifetime sport.
And
Soccer.
that's what I'm saying. It's all like, I'm telling you, it improves everyone's physical and emotional well-being. Not just sports. Like it's everyone. And that's why I tell everyone it's sports and programs. So all programs, anything I could do to help all programs here. Like we're looking at future programs. I've seen feedback from the community. They want to see tennis teams. They want to see a track team. I've never heard of that before, but they want to see track teams out here. They want to see golf and volleyball, lacrosse. I mean, some of those are they're stuff I've never heard of before.
And John, before, or I don't know, maybe you were here, but I remember when we didn't have soccer, and it was, it was a big conversation, and there were the baseball people that didn't want the soccer, and there's always the conversation that has to be had. And now soccer is just, y'all can remember when soccer wasn't in America like it is now, and it's, we've met the need there. Yeah. That was everything to me. Look, I'd like to see us on social media have some interviews with people like that, saying what you all do at the park or why the park matters to you, what parts means to you. I would love to see that posted on social media.
Takeaway that I just want to say with this is that, hi, I'm Andrea, I am a PARDS board member, is that throughout the years, just having a conversation with this young man right here, you have seen PARDS evolve. So there's no question about where your village is going. It's going to jobs, it's going to the gym, it's going to health and wellness, it's going to the children. And so when you're looking at it, you're thinking, and you're considering yes or no, we're going to say consider yes because you can see the change that's happened. To piggyback on what she said, we used to, I played t-ball a long time ago, and so this is the first sport and the first place that I ever played at. And what I can say is that it does empower you to be who you are, and it does give you somewhere to go because the kids over at the Ellen Lockhart Center or Martin Luther King area, there's really nowhere to go, and the best place for you to go is a safe space where you can go and get on the internet and do your homework or go and do these different things. But what I'm saying to say is that it's evolving. Your millage is going to the betterment and to the improvements of the community, not just the park, the community as a whole. We can say it's a park development, the park is doing this, but we're building, as he said, future leaders. People that are going to be government officials. We have Tasman Mitchell that was here, and LSU assistant basketball coach. These are people that grew up right here where we are right now, not anybody from anywhere else. And so when you're spreading the word about it, spread the good news about how we're developing kids, we're developing teens, and we're keeping the youthful youthful. And that's all that I have to say about it.
That's unless you want to mention about the soccer club.
It's up to you.
So, and as they talked about with the PARDS Soccer Club, we recently, I say recently, but it's been almost 7 years now. We added our first competitive program, the soccer club, and what Gary's talking about, it's becoming the premier soccer club in the state, is that we finally won a regional, we finally won the state cup and earned the right to go to regionals. And that's a big deal for us because up until this point, everybody considered us a small club. The big clubs looked at us like a joke. Well, guess what? We're starting to adapt and we're starting to compete with them. And PARDS is starting to be put on the map, and they're going, all right, who is PARDS? Who is this tiny little park?
Hey John, wasn't there something at the high school level? I don't know if it was soccer or baseball or something where we were like second in the nation?
Yes. So
what was that?
Denham Springs High School, they were ranked actually number 1 at one point in the nation. Their soccer team finished in the semifinals this year. Very successful. And just so y'all know, probably 95% of that soccer team played rec sports here at PARDS. Like all of those soccer players played here at PARDS. So
this is where it starts. PARDS is where it starts.
That's pretty incredible. They didn't all play for PARDS Soccer Club, but they did play at some point in our recreational league. So now a bunch of those varsity high school boys do play for our soccer club. And the Denham girls varsity team plays for our PARDS Soccer Club. And that's pretty awesome when you get to watch them not only here at PARDS, but then you get to watch them in the stadium play high school.
Well, and that reminds me too, at our tennis courts, both Live Oak High School and Denham Springs High School tennis teams, don't they?
And I believe Walker.
And Walker?
Maybe Walker, I'm not 100% on that, but yeah, they use our tennis courts.
They use our tennis courts for their, and up until very recently, the high school used our baseball field and and the track team used our track until they finally got the millage to build their own. So anyway, we have been here for them, for everybody through all of this. So thank y'all for being here.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, thank you. Keep the doors open and please spread the word.
Guys, if you have any questions afterwards, we will all be here to answer any questions you may have. Again, the phones are always available to call. Office doors are always open, not just mine, but all the staff. If you have a question, feel free to give them a call. And thank y'all again for coming out. We'll do this again
June 10th.
June 10th at 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Yep.
Yes.
Thank y'all.